In this episode, we're going to take a look at some of that forgotten awesomeness that we lived with in the 80s. These are TV trays. So, stick around. Dorks and Dorkettes, and welcome to Nostalgia Syndrome. My name is Rob, and this is a new segment on the show called Forgotten Awesomeness. To be 100% honest, it's not necessarily new. It's just a new way to categorize some of the previous episodes that I've done and ones that I plan on doing. Like the episodes that I did many years ago that I haven't really done recently of the weird, rare, and awesome would fall into forgotten awesomeness. So, things like that. Those big wheel episodes that everyone seems to love, they also would fall into this category. So anyway, with that being said, we're going to take another look at some TV trays. And since we are just basking in the awesomeness of their artwork, I'm going to take a step back and just do a voiceover for this episode. So, without further ado, let's get to number one. Our first TV tray is an absolute classic. This is the first Transformers TV tray that was released, and it features the stunning artwork that we saw on the back of the packages for like the first wave or two of the toys. So this was artwork that we all were very familiar with, and it just capsulized the awesome fight between the Autobots and the Decepticons. This is beautiful. This artwork is classic and so nice. So to have this on a TV tray would be just pure awesomeness, for lack of better terms. Yeah, I love this and definitely would love to find one day. Our next TV tray is Strawberry Shortcake, and as it says, friendship is a sweet treat, as we see Strawberry with her friends outside on a sunny day drinking milkshakes. Look at that little bunny, he's even enjoying a milkshake. That's awesome. Now, I see they have all their little friends that they came with, like the frog, the cat. So that's pretty cool, just like the toys came with a little pet. So Strawberry Shortcake has weathered the test of time. That's one thing you got to give credit to her for. I mean, she's gone through different outfit changes and different cosmetic changes, but at the end of the day, the message is still the same. And friendship is key, and yeah, sweet treats. Can't fight that message. Our third TV tray comes from the classic film E.T. And this has his famous catchphrase of E.T. phone home on it. As we can see, here's E.T. chilling out in the bathrobe with the speak and spell. So this is an iconic moment when he starts hatching his plan to create a communicator to phone home. Now, there were many E.T. TV trays released. I mean, the movie was so popular, it's a no-brainer that they would capitalize on merchandise anywhere that they could. But for some reason, this one is definitely one of my favorites. I mean, it just looks great. He looks awesome, it's an iconic moment, and you got the E.T. phone home right there. Our next TV tray features a tried and true
item that all kids love. Dinosaurs. Yes, this is a kind of generic dinosaur TV tray, but it's still awesome. Heck, I remember when I was a kid, I would go everywhere with this dinosaur book, looking at the awesome pictures, reading up on all the facts, and yeah, that was a fun time. And having this TV tray would be a fun time. I mean, the artwork is solid. It's a T-Rex getting ready to rip apart a Brontosaurus. You got a pterodactyl in the background, an erupting volcano. I mean, you're hitting all the awesome marks of just an awesome dinosaur display piece. Our next TV tray comes from Rainbow Brite, and it lives up to the name. I mean, the vibrant colors on this just pop. I love all the little stars that go around the border of it, and the artwork is just, it's awesome. I'm sorry, I'm a sucker for Rainbow Brite for some reason. I can't put my finger on it, but the little furry dudes that run around with her, I mean, always a fan of them. So, yeah, this is a nice piece. If you were a fan of Rainbow Brite, a bigger fan than me, this would be awesome to display. I mean, like I said, the colors just pop and it really stands out. Our sixth TV tray comes from the popular 80s TV show Alf. And as we can see, Alf seems to have gotten himself into some tax trouble. I didn't think an alien would get in trouble for tax evasion, but alas, that's what it looks like this picture is showing us. He's got everything from an old-fashioned counting machine, an abacus, and just a ton of paperwork. Man, it's got to be hard to be in show business and an alien. But anyway, hopefully he doesn't go to federal prison for too long. Our next TV tray comes from the Flash Gordon cartoon series, and this was actually released in 1979, but it's close enough for me to add it to the list. Now, this is a pretty cool picture. I mean, we have Flash with a sword getting ready to kill this lizard thing that's coming up over a fallen tree. Now, the thing that gets me about the lizard dude is he has a very humanoid arm. So, is he a humanoid? I mean, he shouldn't just be going around killing dudes like that. But maybe he's a monster just with odd proportions. Anyway, I don't really remember the cartoon, but I remember the cool figures that came out for the cartoon. And that alone, I think, makes this TV tray pretty rad. I think we all should be able to admit that at one point in our life, we loved the Chipmunks. For me, I tuned in every Saturday morning to watch whichever Chipmunks series was on. There were a couple different ones. And yeah, every Christmas I tuned in to the Christmas special with Alvin and his golden harmonica. I mean, I love the Chipmunks. I've talked about it in some of the Forgotten Toys and Rad Ride episodes, but yeah, I think we all should be able to admit that we love the Chipmunks. Now, I even have to say the movies weren't too bad, but for this TV tray, I mean, we have an awesome picture of them performing, and the musical notes just pop. Great coloring, just looks great. I guess I've just been conditioned for too long on horror movies where this picture is absolutely frightening. When you have the actual dolls hanging out at a farm and chilling with a pitchfork. I mean, look at that red-haired girl. She's grabbing the pitchfork. They're definitely going after somebody. I mean, this is Chucky level spooky. And yeah, I would be afraid if the Cabbage Patch Kids just appeared at my farm one day brandishing a pitchfork. I mean, it might take a couple of them to hold it, but if they get a running start, you're screwed. For our final TV tray, here is America's favorite feline during the 1980s, Garfield. And he has a look that you hardly ever see. He looks so happy, so blissful. Not the usual grumpy, Monday-hating mammal that we know and love. So this is a cool TV tray. I mean, front and center, Garfield. And if you're a Garfield collector, I would definitely see this being something you could hang on your wall, because beautiful artwork and just a beautiful interpretation of the character. I think it's pretty cool.
Okay, folks, that was Forgotten 80s Awesomeness TV trays number 2. We've taken a look at them in the past, and people seem to like it. I mean, we're just kind of reacting to the awesome artwork that are on these awesome metal trays, but they're a piece of our childhood that needs to be discussed. I had a Smurfs one that I absolutely loved, and I would set up the legs and put a blanket over it, and it would be a spooky cave for my G.I. Joe or my Masters of the Universe, or it was a ice cave in Hoth for my Star Wars figures. Anyway, yeah, I have a real affinity for the things like this. Those products that featured the characters that we knew and loved from toys and cartoons, but given to us in a functional manner. Of course we could play with it, but it offered so much more. It offered cereal on Saturday mornings and SpaghettiOs for dinner. I mean, it was a great place to sit in the living room and just veg out in front of the TV and have your own little table, your own little space. And when you're a kid, having your own little space meant the world. So anyway, we're going to leave it there. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. If you got something to say, please leave a comment. I love reading them, and I love getting back to everyone. And if you're new around here and you enjoyed this or any of the episodes that YouTube is recommending down here, please hit subscribe. And if you hit that little bell icon, you'll be notified whenever there's a new episode. So anyway, until next time, thanks for watching. Keep being rad and stay dorky.